Thank you very much, Kevin. Great interview by you, Nero. But it's time for the Oppo Player of the Series. And for this one, it goes to TF in the jungle, Riku.
Yep, sorry, we got TF. He's able to facilitate for everyone and set up early game. And he has this duality on the Nuno that focuses more on soaking damage and playing for the team. But he also has, you know, that flashiness on the Lee Sin side of him, which is very, very awesome to see in those both in the series.
Well, time for our last match of the day. Here's Kangas and Alk Battery for Tribe versus Rolster.
Thank you, Degon and the desk. We're into the final match of the group stage here, Alk. And table setting aside, you know, this won't have implications on the standings, but it is the final look at Rolsters going into their knockout stage performance, and they have had a very impressive showing so far.
Yes, Rolster has looked really impressive considering the fact that a lot of people did not know how Korea was going to perform in the Horizon Cup. We didn't know what state Rolster was going to come in. We saw that they were undefeated in their own region. It was looking like, okay, maybe Korea is a little bit weaker, especially when you look alongside the fact that they had been getting smashed by the WPL in China. But coming in now to the Horizon Cup, we've gotten some really nice, what seems like a pretty strong team for Korea to be representing them.
Exactly. They've been smashing. They've only dropped games to Dakun, who they were the only team to take a game off of as well.
And
so,
TSM.
True,
TSM.
yes, yes.
No?
You know, let's give credit to TSM there. My apologies. But now the test is, how do they look against Tribe, who are already knocked out of the knockout qualification potential here. They will be exiting in the group stage. This is their final match. So it's also a final look at Tribe, of course, going back to North America. But again, with our eyes mostly on Rolsters here, Tribe has been taking games off of teams. They took a game off of SBTC. They took a game off of TSM. Can they take a game off of Rolsters, or are Rolsters going to prove that, no, they are a cut above the rest?
I don't know if they will be able to take a game off of Rolsters. The only thing that I want to say for Tribe is, you know, they have been dealing with a couple of issues, right? They did have 2 games that were the last broadcast of the day. They've had, you know, obviously playing in SCA for a little bit has just not been their meta, and so they really have tried to adapt their style to this meta. And coming off of their second game from Dakun, a lot of them came out and said, look, this is a tough road to get us into knockout stage, but we need to just kind of play what we want to do. We saw Tigers really starting to sit in there with the vibes, really wanting to stick with that, and that's why we got to see them kind of stand out against SPTC. And now here in the draft, this is a Fiora, something that I don't think we've seen much from Chuck regionally in here in the Horizon Cup.
Yeah, it has not been played by Tribe yet at the Horizon Cup, and it wasn't one of his most played throughout the Summoner series here. Rolsters, though, answering with that Renekton, still very prio pick here. So presumably the Renekton versus Fiora matchup, Diana paired with it. This is already looking like a Rolsters draft.
This is also really interesting because if you look on the Tribe side, I love this. Taking away Corki, it has such high influence in this series. Luna is a awesome laner to pull this in. And I do want to note, we see Nomel in the mid lane. This is not Isaac.
Interesting, yeah.
This is not Isaac here. So a different look from Rolsters Y in this first game potentially could have implications as we get further into the series. But, you know, it is a different look for them, all things considered.
Especially when I look at Isaac as being one of these star carries of the team, too. Yes. This means that could be a different look for Rolster. But going back to Tribe's champ picks here, they're going back to Comfort here with the Corki locked in. This is very popular for them, but mostly that Braum is what I'm looking at as Max Screen's most played throughout the entire Horizon Cup. So Tribe are going back a little bit to Comfort, but the Fiora is kind of the big question mark that I have around what they have so far, and Rolster's answering with that Graves and the Varus, a lot of AD damage.
How do you answer for this? They pick up the Darius, so it is going to be for Tigers playing around the most veteran player on this roster, and Olaf.
Okay.
So this is, someone is solo laning something here.
Mid lane Darius? Into the Diana?
We've seen, specifically in North America, it's been a lot of Olaf solo lane in the top lane. Darius is a really big hit. I don't know if it'll move anywhere away from the Baron lane, so we'll have to wait until these locked in. And for Rolsters, These are some very, very strong lanes to play around. The Nami and the Varus are obvious for them, and now you have Diana for Nomel.
But it is Luna and Salem's first time piloting the Varus Nami. They have not played this lane yet. Actually, neither of them have played either of these champions yet at the Horizon Cup. So Rolster's taking this opportunity on stage to try out some different things. I like that when it's the last match of your group stage and you already have your seeding locked in. You can try out some stuff. The concern is that now your opponents get more scouting on you as well.
True.
But I do still, you know, I like it. I like that they're bringing out new things. But Tribe, they're bringing a lot of new things here, depending on where these champions end up going.
For me, it's really important we see Rolster play well on this competition. Not only obviously playing against Tribe, but also if you can't play Varus, the champion that has been, I kind of think, defining the meta in the bot lane, then that is a massive hole in your draft that unless we see it, unless other teams maybe have it, if you're really keeping it in your back pocket, I think you're doing your team a pretty big disservice. So I want to see what this team kind of has as a look.
And Luna has been the, again, we talked about Isaac as a primary carry. Luna is right up there as well. Ratel's also been popping off too. The Rolster are kind of like a multi-lane threat when you look at their roster. But it looks like it's going to be the Fiora mid lane for Tribe. It was Starting that was hovering that at the end of Pickman.
I'm very excited about this. You know, we're talking about, hey, leave it out all on the table. Let Tribe end the Horizon Cup with a bang. You look back at this series, you look at the Horizon Cup, kind of in the future, you're going to think Tribe kind of went out with a little bit of a whimper as we get into the series. They're 0-3 here, but
hey, they got one win.
They got a win.
They got the win against TSM.
TSM, we take those. As NA representatives, we take those. But when we're looking at Starting, the absolute carry for this team, the guy who has had some of the most standout performances for his team on things like the Akshan and I think it was, they did like Fizz. They were having a bunch of fun mid lane on that last fight.
I believe that their wins so far have been on the Akshan and the Diana.
Akshan and Diana.
That's what
it has
Starting
been,
has gotten victories.
at least regionally speaking, melee champions, melee carries for Starting. We're thinking Akali, Diana, all of these kinds of things. And Fiora, she's a duelist. She's focused about that lane and still gives him power as we go later into the game.
And again, bringing the conversation back. Oh, Tribe also picked up a win against SBTC too. So they do have 2 victories right there.
There you go.
But before we get into the game itself, make sure that you're not missing out on any content that you're already paying for. Make sure that you also link your Prime account to your Wild Rift account where you'll receive a random skin chest thanks to our friends at Prime Gaming. This is mostly a reminder for production to myself because I've yet to do this.
Oh,
okay. I keep seeing it on the show. I've been here every day in the studio, but I just...
Ratel?
Oh, 1v1 in the Baron lane. Chuck has to flash and barrier.
Maybe he was actually looking up at the same time where to get his Prime Gaming skin. Because I got the Frostfire Annie skin. It's not the most happy, but hey, a free skin's a free skin. And getting the flash and barrier away from Chuck is very detrimental, especially when we're talking about carries on the side of Rolster. Ratel has really stood out for other Baron laners here at the Horizon Cup.
And he's on his comfort pick. This is the only this is a champion that Rolsters was able to get most of their wins on against TSM in their match there. They played this actually all 3 games in that single match. Interesting to note. So, and Ratel win this matchup here, already doing well. But tracking the junglers right now. Doe looking towards the bottom side of the map here with Nomo as well, pushing out that mid wave. Already some reasons to get back to base, but the dive potentially mid lane Starting. It's chunked out.
Super close. A lot of damage, and now they're going to try and prep this wave. Look at what they're doing, just bullying. I like this from Tribe, however. The good response, they know, hey, we can't really do much here, so we're just going to have to back off, lose this wave, potentially even lose a little bit more.
Oh my goodness.
Rolster saying, no, you have to back as far as possible. Not going to be able to punish as well. They know that Starting can't be here, and with all of these camps gone, they can have an idea as to where Tiger should be.
And this is a plate now picked up for Rolsters. More gold injected into their AD carry's pocket. Luna's going to be feeling pretty good about that one. Chuck finally gets the top wave shoved in as Starting taking a trade aggressively on the So it looks like Rolster are the team that have the more confident early game as Flash is moved there by Luna because of the first gank now. There's some Tigers who has hit level 5, but Doe's nearby too. Also level 5 on the Graves. Be careful here. Decides to back off.
All Graves does is he kind of walks up, and Olaf's like, cool. Passing, like 2 ships in the night. Something small that we can also note here is Max Green, who has been playing this Braum to obvious small numbers of success, but has really piloted a kind of different style and has really kind of stood out to me as one of the best supports despite their, their inability to find wins here on Tribe. Max Green does have flash this time on Brawl. And mostly from what we've seen from him is heal exhaust, some variation there. So I wonder what his take on this is, how important he needs this flash, especially against the Nami, because that match is so hard.
I'm looking specifically at the Diana there. If you can flash out of that moonfall, pretty important against a champion like that. And then your shield can block Varus damage, can block Graves damage, can block Nami damage as well. I actually do like this pick. I think it's, like we said, it's Max Green's most played. Also makes sense into this specific composition. But going into this game, Alk, we wanted to frame it around Rolsters in particular. How are they going to look specifically up against Tribe Gaming, who are currently sitting in last place in this group? Can Rolsters give us a performance? But it looks like Tribe are actually going for their own play right now. Onto Salem, locking him down, picking up first blood. And now Luna's in a really compromised position here. Level 6, but doesn't have the ultimate. No summoners either, as the heal is huge. Barely alive, but there's the roam from starting, picking up 2 kills for Tribe.
Tribe, great early game yet again. They finally find some more wins. It was looking a little bit dicey there, Kangas. They were like, oh, do we really want to go for this? Can we find the kill onto Luna? They make good on the fact that they got the flash a little bit early on. And finally, Tribe finding some success in the early game.
You like to see those early kills, the early gold, as we take a look at our Max Effect replay here. It's just the early power of that Olaf.
Nami can't do anything against this champion. She's like, oh, he's just running at me. All of my CC means nothing. I've got slows, well, he's got a racket on. So finally finding the kill is a little bit, I was worried there for a bit that Luna could have walked out, but starting obviously comes on through. This is a package timer as well for them.
Ooh, now dive, starting, flashes the wall, gets the kill on Nomo. Doe going forward, exhaust, collateral damage is enough as the Unbreakable not blocking that.
Staying competitive there. They're trying to keep control of the bot lane, not trying to lose as much. Both Rolsters with their bot lane moved in, they had already achieved the dragon afterwards. And with the Rift Herald in T-Tiger's pocket, what are they going to look for? Are they going to try and just break this open? It looks like they're just going to assault this top lane, put Rahel in deficit. Old School's here as well.
They're going for the full committal right now. Ratel's going to have to pop the ultimate. Actually tries to slice nice away, saving that cooldown. Flashes instead. And that means that Tribe get first turret. I saw that Rolsters were on the bottom side looking for that, but Tribe defend and attack at the same time.
Nice job. They make a cross-map play, right? They're able to defend themselves on the bot lane. They get the Rift Herald, turn it immediately into gold. So effective, but we need to see how they go from here. We get a replay of starting. Man, he looks so good on melee carries. It's sad that Max Green can't block out on the collateral damage because the Unbreakable's already gone, but still, it's exactly what I want to see, and a lot of the fans at North America want to see, some signs of life from Tribe.
Signs of life, exactly. Gold's still dead even despite that first turret going down. It has been answered since, as Rolsters have gotten a turret of their own here. So very even game state at 6 minutes into the game, which makes me start thinking which team's actually, at advantage right here, because we're approaching that mid game. We're getting out of that standard laning phase.
Yeah, already breaking out of it, right? They're going to try to make this play. Now, I like this pairing of trying to have this. T-Tigers.
Yeah, T-Tigers. Again, you just can't CC him. It doesn't matter.
Get back in. Starting.
And on starting, he's very low. Still alive as T-Tigers has to get away from that turret.
Oh, no.
Chase him down. One more auto trades it back. 1 for 1.
No, he misses the throwaway axe. I don't know if it would have killed Salem, but still heartbreaking to see as Chuck. He should be able to walk it out. Walk it out, boys. Tough it out. Don't even look back at the explosions going around you. But starting in T-Tigers, a duo that have been together for a really long time. I kind of want to see how this starts. And we're actually just going to see how it ends. Exhaust under the turret. Just barely able. It's
I don't think that
level up as well.
Yeah.
It's so much PM.
So close. And now starting in a 1v2, didn't realize that Ratel was there, decides to back away. Has the ultimate coming off cooldown. T-Tigers is here as well, also with ultimate coming off cooldown. So Tribe committing multiple members around this side of the map. They'll get a scuttle, but they don't find any kills.
This might just be Chuck going down. Spooky Ghost just barely is able to get Chuck. Something I wanted to note before that play was T-Tigers and starting. This is a duo Tribe were playing, but they were looking for a mid laner to kind of help and kind of flesh out the rest of the roster. T-Tigers had previously played with Starting when he was a much younger professional player, and thought Starting would be a fantastic fit for this, an aggressive, young mid laner. And it was because of T-Tigers and that early synergy that they had that brought Starting out under this roster and helped them achieve such dominance in North America.
And Starting's also one of the breakout stories coming from North America as well. All other members of the Tribe roster have been previous world champions in Vainglory. Starting's the only one coming in here without like a championship under his belt. So
an international
championship, exactly. So Starting, this is a fantastic experience for a very young player. And also, I think one of the more consistent performers and one of the more impressive performances here on the Tribe roster so far. Let's see if the Fiora 2-1-1 on Starting can actually get Tribe a win against Rolster. They have the package to work around, and both objectives are spawning.
Look at this. They're just trying to gain control of the river. T-Tigers is here, but probably not going to be able to do much. He's going to get forced now.
Everybody's jumping on top of him. That's the package used. Decent damage, but doesn't really split the fight. Now lockdown with Chain of Corruption, but Nomel's the one taking damage. Chuck's frontlining, but no one behind him. You need to get out of this fight. Reposition is the name of the game.
Starting is split pushing.
Starting
Get picture up.
Yeah, Fiora's up there in the top lane. So even if Rolster get this Dragon, Tribe, if they can get a turret for this, that might be a worthwhile trade.
Something that we've constantly criticized some of the Western teams is their inability to make cross-map plays and play that kind of style against the Western teams. And Tribe, yes, they lose out on the Dragon, but this is really awesome that they're able to then push pressure onto the Baron lane, make a trade somewhere else, force for someone to try to answer, and Nomel is going to be there to try to get that. Rolsters is a team that they made a joke about it earlier, but they have some of the longest game times, even despite their wins. So this is a team that's looking to play for a lane, and if you can apply pressure on the opposite side, that's awesome.
Unfortunately, Starting doesn't get the turret, but now, hey, maybe they can just go for the team fight instead.
They're going for this.
Again for Tribe, into the pit right now. It's a blender for Rolsters. 1-for-1 trade so far, as now the rest of the Roasters are going forward. The Darius doesn't get the reset, he flashes the wall, gets a double kill. Huge for Chuck, but now Rattel rejoining into the fight here. Chuck trying to heal up. Rattel got the damage, got the move, slice and dice forward, flashes the wall onto Max Green. Old school completed the reset, so Max Green's got no backup but a turret. That will be enough to prevent the dive.
MVP Honeyfruit there for Max Green, and it's the only thing that they can look forward to as Rolsters. They do get wiped. This is a team fight that's looking surprisingly even for Rolsters, and it stops the Rift Herald take alongside it. So I want to see exactly what happens, because a lot of team members go in and out of this from Rolsters. It looks a little sloppy.
And the Grand Challenge was issued. I think the idea was Starting was trying to get that off in the pit so that they can get all the healing, but doesn't quite get chunked out, has to jump away. And if Chuck got that reset, maybe so you actually turn this play, but then doesn't have the second ultimate for Rattel here.
So right there from Rolsters, just a fantastic set of positioning coming out from the bot lane there. It was Nami and the Varus untouched in that last fight. It secures the Rift Herald for Rolsters, and it stops them from coming out a little bit less. So now with this breaking up in the mid-tier one and Starting still a side threat.
Exactly, Starting gets the bottom turret. So the Herald will essentially just trade turrets at the end of the day. Tribe do send Starting back towards the mid lane because now Nomel's joining in onto that bottom side. But again, this is a pretty clean look from Tribe. I want to give credit to them because they have not shown too much of this throughout the event, but like you highlighted before, there's a lot of cross-map plays happening.
Tribe are playing well, but I also want to note Starting should just go down here. The rest of the team is there, tries to make some kind of cheeky play, jumps over the wall, gets hit by the Diana.
Rolsters, we got a word for that one, Al.
Yeah. Rolsters have been known to drop games. I will say, Tribe are playing pretty well, but also Rolsters have kind of not had the cleanest executions, as Old School should be able to get out of here with a Valkyrie. Impressive enough, they still may be able to close out this game. It's even, and Rolsters are known for lane.
And they also have two dragons, so when you look at the evenness of the gold, you also have to factor in the stats you get from the dragons. But now it's actually Tribe pulling Rattel in under the turret, still alive. Oh. And T-Tigers again with the Honeyfruit, just barely living.
Not able to find that kill. They're going to continue their assault. They're bringing over Luna as well. They want this top tier one. They want to get that gold and set up for a Drake on the opposite side of the map.
59 health right now on it. It's still up, but you gotta imagine this next wave it will fall. But Tribe, they bought enough time, never mind. Renell just walks up and says, we don't need to wait. What are you talking about? Just one auto this thing.
They actually rented out the time. They had to then immediately give back the lease on that one. The top tier one is
They went to the counter to rent it and then realized they left their wallet back home. They were like, I'm sorry, I'll come.
Oh, they are going to be nearest to the airport, so that is going to have to be the closest thing for them. They can go right back, they can get all their stuff. They don't need to return, at least for the next few months.
Next international. But honestly, before that, they have this match against Rolsters, and Tribe still looking decent here. Rolsters do have the lead regardless. And now with Dragon up, you know that they're going to be looking at this objective here. Rolsters grouping up as 5, walking forward, trying to shut out Tribe from any Dragon objective.
They're just taking control of this river. Look, Tigers trying to get some kind of play going around the bot lane. Tribe, what are their setup? I think they're just going to try and force a 5v5 pool starting away from the split push team that he's been on and look for something, but I just want to check. Corki package is available. We haven't seen too many influential ones from Old School. He needs to be a difference maker here if they want to try and have an even fight.
And they find Rattel on the flank. He was looking for it, but now with multiple members of Tribe here, set.
It's gonna start it.
Oh, that's package down.
It's down.
It doesn't happen anymore. Actually, Valkyrie's very early right now, and that means Rattel can go for the flank. Immediate stasis. Dragon is secured here by Tribe, but can they get out of the fight now? Because the Rolsters have engaged. Starting flashes the wall, trying to retreat. Everybody else from Tribe says, run for the hills. Spread out if you can, but Rolsters just chase them all down. 1 for 5 trade.
Rolsters immediately blow up Tribe. They lose out on the Dragon, but it's still like, you take those if you're Rolsters. They're going to close this out. It's a little bit of an early game. They could have potentially just pushed for all of those mid turrets, but they said, nope, we're going to go for the Baron. We're going to get a replay on this. Old School just makes a few too many mistakes at the beginning of this fight, and it allows for Rolsters to completely tear apart this team.
And Rattel, I mean, yes, Tribe pushed him away earlier, but you knew he was still on that side of the map. So smart from Rattel to just double back and say, oh, look, they're back on the objective. I'm just going to go for the flank I had set up originally. And the everybody's scatter strat from Tribe doesn't quite work out at the end as they're all picked up, and now at a pretty sizable deficit.
They did get scattered to the wind, technically. They couldn't hide. You couldn't just get under maybe like a desk. You couldn't get into like maybe into a closet somewhere. They could not hide. Rolsters found all of them and just completely wiped them from the map.
Classic Scooby-Doo strat, but this time the monster did find the gang as Rolsters put on their best monster impersonation right now and pushing in this mid lane. They have been monsters in this group so far, only dropping games to the #1 team from the group, and then of course, we had
you gotta say it like that.
I don't know. I always want to like
for that, man.
Lift it up to be something a little bigger. And then I was like, no, TSM, yeah, we gotta give them credit too. But now they're looking to make a clean one here against Tribe. 15 minutes and a half on the clock. Not necessarily the full game time that we expect from Rolsters, as they already have this Baron and knocking on these inhibitor turrets.
Look at this. This is a huge wave for them. Luna's still in the mid lane, and there's not much that Tribe can do. Such little range on them.
Oh, that's a pretty big engage. Novel gets a Moonfall to multiple members, and that's Max Green down.
Started!
And starting, jumping in onto the backline. We can get Salem here. That's big, but you cannot! Salem survives through it. And now Rolsters with 4 members strong here against 3 plus the Baron bomb. They can go for the game end right now. They take this middle inhibitor turret. They have multiple cannons.
Just end the game, guys!
Just walk forward. Rolsters, why do you have to do it to us? You gotta add salt to the wound and go for one more reset.
It wouldn't be Rolsters if they didn't wait until 21 minutes to close out a game. They're going to wait as long as possible. They want to have every single dot crossed, every I perfect for them.
They're writing in cursive right now.
They're writing in extreme cursive. It's just like dock.
Left-handed too. It's like, you gotta go really slow with it. You gotta make sure it's legible still.
Well, still, a fantastic job, and we're looking at Rolsters. They are another boogeyman in this group, right? We're talking about them alongside having Dakun Gaming, favorites potentially to take all of Horizon Cup, and going forward, Tribe, they need to find something else, right? Like, I like this look. It is still somewhat in line with what we saw regionally, but
they might not have another chance to go for a look here as Max Green dies yet again. That's the frontliner, by the way. That is the prop that had to shield up and gets killed regardless. Rolsters, they had Super Minis pushing mid and top. Novel's even going in there. So Tribe, they see the desperation play and they go for it onto Luna into the stasis. Will die regardless though. Doe very low on health, but look at Riddell. The Renekton can just solo carry this fight. It doesn't matter that the other carriers are going down. A killing spree for Luna, who didn't even die throughout the entire engage. Gets the double kill. Rolsters with a dominant performance over Tribe will go up 1-0 in the series.
Exactly what we need to see from the Korean representatives here in the Horizon Cup. Finish off your last day looking strong, going into knockouts as the second seed in this group. And they have, again, been prone to drop games. They obviously dropped the game to TSM, and that means you do need to still look clean. Show us that Rolsters can kind of clean out a series with a lot of confidence.
If they can 2-0 Tribe, they're showing that they are that cut above the other teams in their groups. I mean, you also look over at Group B, even the top teams are dropping games. So, like, Rolsters can leave this. If they 2-0 Tribe right here, they can look at their overall win-loss record and say, we're, like, arguably the second best performer in the tournament. And we're in the group with Dakun, who have just been smashing everybody. That's a pretty big accomplishment.
For the most part, Group A has really been Dakun Gaming and everybody else.
Yep.
All of you, they're looking out from their throne, and Rolsters, they're just like, I'm a lowly servant. I am here. I'm just a regional lord. I'm here to kind of take control of the lands while my vassals all kind of take control of the land. Get my pity farm away from them. Rolsters, they look good. And now I'm kind of looking at Tribe. What is their answer? What can they really go for here?
Yeah, Tribe, they need to go back to the drawing board. They picked a couple things that were strong for them, but at the end of the day, still did not work. But with that said, Rolster are not done with this match yet. But looking ahead, they face off with Sengoku Gaming in the quarterfinals. Earlier today, the Tigers actually caught up with Sengoku's Hawk after they secured their spot in Knockout. Let's take a look.
Welcome everyone. With a victory against Team Keso, Sengoku Gaming have secured their spot in the knockout stage. What was your team's reaction to it, Hawk, the mid laner from said victory team?
오늘 다 플레이오프 진출을 확정 지으셨는데 기분이 어떠신가요?
원래는 저 이번에 이제 팀시크릿 상대로 경기력이 되게 안 좋아갖고 뭐 이번 대회는 그래도 첫 국제 대회니 좀 이제 마음 편하게 하다가 가자. 왜냐면 처음 대회 경험인 선수들도 있어서 그런 마음으로 이제 임했는데 그래도 지지는 말자라는 좀 마인드를 갖고 있었던 것 같아요. 네, 그래서 이제 그 TQ를 이기고 정말 많이 기뻐했던 것 같아요. 일본 친구들과의 첫 국제 대회이기 때문에.
So yesterday we had a bit of disappointing series against Team Secret. So we told ourselves on the outside that we should just take this as an experience and learn as much as we can from this very first international Wild Rift tournament. But I guess on the inside, we still wanted to really win this time. And so the entire team was extremely thrilled that we were able to secure a victory.
And we loved the energy and that excitement coming from your team. It felt like both teams were getting very loud. Did you feel like there was a battle between you all to kind of own the stage in that way?
네, 약간 신경전이 좀 있었던 것 같아요. 저희가 약간 경기 부스 들어오기 전부터 서로 이제 양 팀의 거리가 있었는데 서로가 소리를 들릴 정도로 막 파이팅을 외치기도 했고 이제 약간 기싸움이 거기서부터 팽팽했던 것 같아요.
I definitely agree that there was some sort of psychological battle between the two teams even before the match even began. There was a little bit of distance between the teams, but we could hear each other very well. So yes, I agree.
Yes, so loud throughout the entire stage. And this series was a bit slower, just like the last one. In the interview with Team Secret, they talked about not wanting to let you fight because that's what you as a team want to do. Did you feel like that was the case today where Team Queso were trying to not engage with you?
팀 시크릿과의 경기는 약간 느리게 흘러가는 향상이 있었는데 서로 이제 싸워주지 않으면서 이번 경기는 뭐 비슷했다고 느끼셨는지 어땠나요?
네, 오히려 그런 경기가 있어서 저희한테는 좋았던 게 저희가 후반 캐리어인 챔프를 좀 많이 뽑았었는데 이제 저희가 애초에 그 동선을 살짝 이제 꼬우고 살짝 도망가려는 무빙을 많이 취했어요. 왜냐하면 상대방이 초반에 꽉 무는 챔피언이 세기 때문에. 네, 그래서 인지하면서 저희가 플레이를 했고 그 플레이에 맞췄기 때문에 저는 이겼다고 생각합니다.
So we did have another slow series this time against Team Queso, but we actually like that because we love playing late game carry champions. So throughout the game, we try to avoid fights because the other team had strong engaged champions in early game, and that strategy worked really well for us.
And you're going to have to prepare all new strategies for your next series in the knockout stage of facing off against Rolster Y. You, as one of the leaders of the team alongside Rush because of your previous experience, how are you going to prepare your teammates to go into that matchup, and what are your thoughts about your next opponent?
일단 KT는 정말 전 라인 다 잘하는 선수들, 한국에서 진짜 1등이라고 이제 하는 선수들이 나오기 때문에 저희는 이제 물론 데뷔를 많이 할 거지만 그래도 뭐라고 해야지, 최선을 다해서 경기를 할 것이고, 그리고 이번 대회는 꼭 후회 없는, 만약에 이기더라도 진짜 재밌는 경기로, 만약에 지더라도 진짜 볼만한 경기 최대한 만들도록 다음 경기에 임하겠습니다.
I do agree that Rolster Y is a very strong team that is comprised of 5 very strong players, but we're going to try our best, and no matter what the result turns out to be, we're going to try to have as much fun as we can.
Sankoku Gaming is also a strong team. You had great play today. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you too.
More Horizon Cup to come, everybody. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Gabby. And what an insightful interview there with Sengoku's Hawk.
Yeah, I really loved that. The humility, just like, yeah, we've had some ups and downs in this, but we're excited. And also, I love the point about them being so loud that Team Queso and Sengoku could hear each other very well. There's no screen in front of you, You're playing on your phone right here. You have enough distance to just shout at your opponents. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun to see the emotion, how much it meant to them in that series. And we also knew coming into the tournament how loud and emotional Queso can be. And their opponent is going to be Rolster. So he kind of gave away some information in the interview saying, hey, we like to play a little bit late game. We also know that Rolster likes to play a little bit of late game. So what do you think they can learn, Riku, from these final couple matches here against Tribe?
Yeah, I think from what we're looking at, we saw the Graves coming in from RY at the first game versus Tribe. So I feel like their pivot in their match against Team Queso was right. They once the Alistar was basically banned in that series, they pivoted towards the Braum pick for Dejuo, which really helped slow the game because you have that reliable disengage whenever a team just likes to all in on you.
Yeah, well, we'll get to see what Rolster will be learning here in their final match against Tribe if they get the win. If not, we'll go to one more game. The final series of the group stage will close out in just a little bit, and we'll find out right now. Kangas, Alk Battery, take it away.
Hey, that's us. Hey,
Thank
that's
you,
us.
Degon, and that's us. My name's Kangas, and you're Alk.
Yeah, I would hope so. My ID
Alk
would
Battery.
say otherwise.
Your ID?
Yeah, my ID doesn't actually have my gamer tag on it.
You're just nebulous right off.
It actually
gamer.
just says Florida Man across.
Just Florida Man,
Yeah.
yes, as it should, We're into the potentially final game of group stages, Al, because after that performance from Rolsters, Tribe are going to have to find something else in the tank here to pick up a win against them.
I just want them to do something, man.
I want to have fun with it.
I just want to see Tribe. Okay, whatever it is, whether they try to do like a very fun composition that only has one thing that it does well, I want to see something exciting from Tribe. Sure. Maybe, I don't think that starting as a Malphite AP mid player like Z is, but...
Never know.
Exactly, but, we've seen so many different champions come through here at the Horizon Cup that if this is the final game, go out with a bang. This is what we've been talking about through the series.
Exactly. Try either something brand new, ban away starting champion from last.
Hey, you're not first picking it this time.
Yeah.
That's how that tells.
True, yes. Maybe Tribe is identifying, hey, it didn't quite work out. I like the attempts though, and they're saying, okay, we're not gonna play it, but we don't want Rolster to get it either. So still removing that from the table. I also want to talk about Rolster because we talked about trying new things. The Veros Nami actually looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that they stole the show in that game 1, but it's still a good look for Rolster to know now that they can play multiple things.
As long as Luna can stay safe, this is a team that is just, you are always going to have that consistent AD carry. That is, hey, we're not necessarily playing for lane, but with Salem now taking up a different role, I think that is way more important for Rolster. Is the fact that Salem is not on Engage, it's not Rakan, it's not Alistar, it's not Galio, it's Nami, which is just a really different role to play, especially if you're not used to playing Enchanters.
Exactly, but I mean, honestly, I think the Varus kind of goes right into Luna's wheelhouse, very long range, so that one made a lot more sense. We catch up with the bans here. Try banning away the Fiora, the Camille, so Baron power laners, along with that Graves, taking that away from Doe, who popped off in that last game. Rolster's focused on a lot of range with the Ziggs and Cinnabon, and then Renekton. Honestly, not like an abundance of insanely high prio blue 1 picks at this point. I mean, Rolster pretty much took them all off the table.
Thank God. Oh my God, I get to see T-Tigers Lee Sin. Everybody at home.
Let's go.
T-Tigers on Lee Sin, regionally speaking, was a beast. He was really good on this champion, and I'm kind of sad we haven't seen too much of it from him here at the Horizon Cup.
He has not played it.
Exactly.
He played Vi, 5 games.
We got to see a lot of Vi. We could put that experiment away. She's already good on Arcane. I've seen enough of her.
Yeah, he saw the new skin. He was like, I gotta try it.
I gotta try it once. Enough. Let's get the Lee Sin. Let's get something explosive here for Tribe.
Exactly. Something that can, I mean, honestly do a similar thing as the Vi, but if you're mechanically good enough, can do it better than the Vi can. But the answer from Rolsters, going right back, Ribbon and Diana here. Novel had a pretty good performance on the Diana in game number 1. Oh, but Alec we're back to the action.
Okay, so strong mid matchup here for starting yet again.
Yep.
It is just Novel, who, you ever note, I noticed this halfway through the game, you think we could just call him Lemon? We might have to just ask production for whether or not we can call him Lemon. It is literally just it spelled backwards.
Well, now I'm like looking at the rest. Melas.
Nope.
Letar.
Nope. Speaking about the draft, trying to get back into the draft. Aurelia, another champion that we haven't seen, but a very, very powerful Baron laner here for Rattel.
And also Luna back onto that Varus. But the answer from Tribe immediately to the Xayah Rakan Lovers duo combo in the bot lane. Full physical damage coming in from Tribe. Let's see how Rolsters want to answer to that. They don't have a massive front line yet, but Galio can build quite tanky.
Yes, Galio alongside the Aurelia is a lot of late game scaling, I think. When you look at the Galio, even though he can go tank, you can still go this AP build and do a ton of damage. It is going to take a little bit longer because you are support and your gold income is obviously not as high as someone like Namo in the mid lane, but it is a potential thing to go for. And when we look at team fights, we have a bunch of those circles that we were talking about. Aurelia is more of like a triangle champion just because of how her ultimate works, but still a lot of space being made for what is essentially 4 melees and an archer.
And also important to note that Galio was not on my list of champions to keep in mind for this match necessarily. We actually, neither the mid laners nor the supports had played this so far in the Horizon Cup. So kind of cool to see, again, Rolster showing us another adaptation here in their final match, saying, look, Max Screen can play more than just the Braum and the Rakan. We're going to show off that there are other, Salem can play more than the Alistar and the Rakan, and can also show off things like this Galio.
It's key because those are just bans that you don't have to worry about, right? We've been talking about pick ban and how it's kind of evolved. Riven has been a mainstay through it. Fiora has as well. We're talking about the main 3, Renekton, Senna, and Ziggs. Those champions who have just been permanently on the table, whether it's pick or ban. And Galio is kind of rising to be one of those other champions, especially in the support position. So to see Salem, how they're able to perform is key for how Rolsters is going to look as we go into the playoffs.
And it also, like you said, just keeps your opponents on your toes going into that quarterfinals match up against Sengoku. Sengoku's going to be watching this match very closely, seeing, all right, what kind of form are the Rolsters in here? And Tribe Gaming are also looking at this one, saying we have our backs against the wall. We got to pick up 2 wins here to pick up a series win in Horizon Cup. That'd feel great for them walking away, but at least make it close here from Tribe. T-Tiger's back on his comfort pick, Lee Sin. I think that's a great start.
There's a lot of comfort here for Tribe, right? Chuck is a self-proclaimed Darius Garen 2-trick. We've got T-Tigers on Lee Sin. and Old School on a champion that should give him a lot of ability to kind of position very safely if need be with that Feather Storm. So important to watch what happens here, and an interesting matchup here for Darius against Aurelia. Can be very tricky for you to play out, but Chuck, as an expert, should have a pretty firm grasp as to what he needs to do here.
And I can't remember, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I can't remember an Aurelia game at the Horizon Cup so far. This might just be the first one that we've seen. I think it's really cool that we're having like a surge of unique picks here in the last couple of days, just to show how deep the champion pools go for some of these players. But again, thinking about table setting for what the ideal early game scenarios are for each of these teams, I do look at the Lee Sin versus Riven matchup as being somewhat, you know, kind of like it can sway either way depending on who gets that early gold lead.
Yeah, so in the 1v1, Riven has a little bit of a lead. You might have to hold that, as yet again they're trying to make an early play into the bot lane.
Very aggressive, obviously. Sonic Wave. Taunt used early.
No taunt.
It doesn't land though, and the entrance misses. So do Tribe commit. Exhaust is down. They're hard diving under the turret. T-Tigers survives. First blood picked up by Tribe. It is traded.
Tigers, he's gonna connect.
No, wait. Oh, he went in.
No.
T-Tigers, you're a mad lad. Doesn't pull it off, and unfortunately gives 2 other kills over to Rolster.
No, Tribe. This was not what was supposed to happen. You were supposed to bring balance to the Horizon Cup.
We said have fun with it, and baby, they're having fun with it there.
Oh my God, starting, he tries to go for it. The early part of that is good, but it's right here that is the mistake. Obviously, this is a huge thing to start, but without the heroic web swing from Akshan, you lose a lot of that mobility and that damage that we expect from the Akshan early on. And it is just first blood, yes, for them, but this inability to kill Salem. Tigers, red buff is good, but it's not that good.
He saw the angle. My roommate would call that one the Kangle. That's a play I would take. I would take that one for sure.
There's a reason why we're here in LA and we're not at Horizon Cup.
This is fair. There's also a reason I'm arguably the lowest ranked master of.
Whoa, whoa!
I'll call myself out.
Eat you alive for that.
I'll call myself out on that one. Chuck in the 1v1 though. Rattel easily cleans it up.
Speaking of getting completely bodied right there, Chuck just goes down. Rattel, Ignite, Ultimate, Vanguard's Edge. A little bit of the Blade Surge around, but he's going to crash a massive wave in top lane. And Rolster's finding success all across the Wild Rift.
Oh, Max Green, you wanted it. Under the turret, engaging into a galley was such an aggressive play. Almost dies right now. Old School's probably just got the back here too.
Okay, but you know, Kangas, if we're looking for silver lining in what is a really, really, really bad early game, is the fact that Tribe look awake. They are doing things. They may not be going well for them, but they are doing things, and that is good enough for me at this point.
Exactly. They are attempting to find plays around the map. Game 1, they had cross-map plays on the map. Tribe, they're playing with more than just their fingers in this match, but still, Rolster are a tough team. They're answering the plays. They're finding the ways to punish Tribe for this over-aggression, and it's a pretty good look for them. Salem in particular on this Galio. I mean, your first performance on this champion at the Horizon Cup, already 2-0.
There you go. We take those.
Yeah.
So now what we need to see is, what are the resets going to be? Something that we saw from Tribe regionally is that not a lot of other teams were contesting them when it came to the Dragon and Riptail. And now here at the Horizon Cup, a lot of people are obviously going for the objective. Chuck, Ignite,
he gets
oh my
it!
God!
Chuck! Oh, the Ignite will burn him down, but a 1-for-1. Hey, that's a good turnaround.
Okay, it stops them. Rolsters, they don't know if they can really go for this Rift Herald now. They're going to look, start to scan out, probably just take away this Scuttle for the meantime and wait for other members to reset and redeploy out onto the map. But that's a valuable, it buys Tribe some time here before the objective.
Rolsters are on it, engage from Max Green. Follow up here from starting. Doesn't have a lot of items, so I don't know how much damage it's going to do. Swings in directly into Rolsters, and now they say, well, let's just take the fight. They didn't even need Novel for the engage here, but picks up a double kill regardless. And Chuck will just have to watch as his team dies. And Rolsters are right onto the Herald.
That is a massive fight starting. He feels the heroic sing. But sadly, he's going rogue, goes right into the enemy team, and Rolsters blow up the bot lane pair of Tribe. It was a good look for an engage, but Rolsters, they're able to tank it out, spend a lot of time, and once all of those cooldowns are gone, they just clean up the team fight.
Now, as we take a look at our Axe Effect replay here, let's get a second look. Because Tribe, they just keep swinging out. They have not stopped.
Right here. It's right here that it's just, I mean, Riven, the amount of crowd control that she provides, it's 3-man stuns. Props goes over to Salem for surviving that long. It's something that we would have expected if he was playing Alistar, but Galio seems to be serving a very similar purpose there.
Something interesting to note here is actually every champion on Rolsters has a form of CC or another here. Yes. Whether it's an ultimate, whether it's just a regular ability. Yeah, that CC Human playing that fight now is also lands on the Chuck. Salem just pushing him off this turret. So the Rolsters can grab it. They also drop the Herald in the top lane. This could be double turrets before 6 minutes here.
And Rolsters right now, they're getting everything that they could potentially want, and a Dragon start as well. It's rare to see teams be able to get so many objectives all at one time, but a top tier one, a bot tier one. No contest in the mid lane, and with Dragon being started here, Rolsters have complete control of the Rift.
Ritel's going for another charge. He's just not even going to group with this Dragon.
Keep on going, brother.
I mean, why not? There's nobody from Tribe answering right now, as finally Old School will back. Pick up the Solari Charge Blade and now run up towards that top lane, but Turret's dead. And Rolsters aren't even on the Dragon. Like, they don't even need to pick this up. They can just keep pushing in these waves.
Talking about late game insurance policies, Ritel is here. He's making sure he's got gold. Flash gone. Chuck.
Salem with the taunt. Still survives for a little longer, but falls at the end. And Rolsters, they get the best of 3, 4 worlds. I don't know. They got the galaxy. They got the solar system right now, as they also can pick up this Dragon.
The entire multiverse in this game is all for Rolsters to control. Tigers, are you gonna go for it? Sonic Wave is gone, and the Dragon is taken. Just like that, Rolsters are in complete control of this game, and Tribe are just gonna have to watch as slowly but surely they are going to leave the Horizon Cup without a single victory.
Rolsters looking dominant here. Sengoku sweating when you see this kind of performance from this team. Yes, I know the Tribe kind of throwing a couple of the plays towards them, teeing them up a little bit, but Rolsters, they're swinging back. They're answering, and they are playing the map incredibly well yet again here. And there's just such a threat of a team going into the knockout stage right now. Already up 8,000 gold here. Let's see how they're able to close it out. Tribe, they're still trying to find these plays though. They locked down Nomal. That is a kill picked up. That's a good start.
It's 3 on the board. Let's go. They're going to be able to take away some jungle camps. Doe is just going to have to watch. Might even go in here. Galio is here to respond. But take a look at this. All they need to do is keep track of Tribe, keep this turret from going down.
Oh,
say that.
Another double knockup. Tigers is nearby. Like, look at this damage. They just can't stop it. Doe's just insane right now. Salem backing him up, but I think Doe could have just taken that 1v4 by himself.
Yeah. He also had the red smite available, so maybe it was possible, like you were saying. They don't need to do anything. Just keep Tribe on the top side of the map, and in the meantime, Ritel is going to ravage this bot side, get more gold, be a mainstay carry for his team yet again. Level 10 to level 9, almost 3,000 gold in his pocket over his opposition, and is the most fed member in the lobby right now.
All right, I'm gonna bring us back to a selfish point here.
Okay.
I know it's a little outside of the game itself. But Tribe, the players know that I did in fact bet my beer on making it out of groups. I don't think they can.
Foolish bet, I might say.
I don't think they can hear me right now. But if I can have one consolation prize for now being only a mustachioed caster, let's get some crazy team fights rolling in here.
You got one level 1. You got the level 2 one.
They did that
already
level
cashed
2.
in your free bucks.
But let's find something crazy right here. Let's see if Tribe can do it. Throw yourselves at Rolsters. Throw everything in the kitchen sink already. Old School chunked out though. Has to throw up the ultimate. So maybe Tribe don't want this fight.
It resets. Herald is, kind of ticking away. It's slow but surely going over to the favor of Rolsters. Do they go for this Tribe? This is as even as it's gonna get.
Salem, Chuck in trouble. Ignite ticking down. He's dead. Achilles spree for Ritel. Oh, D-Tigers with the steal though. Taking away that Rift Herald.
It means the mid turret probably doesn't go down as fast as it would have, but Max Green, he's just gonna have to execute to the turret, if not just barely get away, and still a kill over the Luna. And try as you might, Old School with no ultimate, no barrier, and no hope here. This is gonna go down.
Does not flash in time, hit by the taunt, hit by the stuns, chain of corruption, all that CC we were talking about, and now starting to
run.
compromise position. Swing out of there, Peter Parker. Get to safety. Oh, no. Oh, flies the wall. He's got the moves. No, he's dodging. That's going to be a dead Spider-Man. Oh, my goodness. Starting, doing his best to
he's doing
things. For it. All right, there we go.
It takes him a while to go down, but Rolsters will find the kill onto the upstart mid laner, the youngest esports pro in his previous mobile esports. Started at 12. And is just gonna have to, you know, kind of watch as the rest of this game. They get a turret.
It's a learning experience. It's a growing experience.
You know, Sengoku said the same thing, and they got out in the knockouts.
You know what? Congratulations to Sengoku.
Congratulations, still. But we get to see this. I mean, this is just a highlight reel for Rolsters, right? They lose out on the Rift Herald, but they make plays and still take down multiple members of Tribe
They just
Game.
look so good, man. I mean,
it hurts.
Rolster, why? If they were in Group B, I think like there's a chance that they could have been fighting for that first seed based on the level of performances that we see this team is capable of here as Rattel in the 1v3 situation, but has backup from the Galio, locking down Tribe. They can turn this one easily. Rattel picks up 1 kill, stun there onto Max Green, now turns back into Chuck who pulls him in, says, run away, support, I will sacrifice myself for the cause. As now, oh, Doe getting on the flank, but Old School and T-Tigers find a kill onto Luna. Almost here as well. Max Green's ran all the way down here for the backup, but says, wait a minute, who's going to sacrifice themselves for me now? Wait, guys, I need somebody here, please. Flashes away, Doe will pick up that kill, and there's nobody from Tribe to help out. Oh, no, with the PM.
This is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see some of the KT Rolster boys show some spirit, show some fun out on the Rift. Oh my god, it's right there. Doe throws up the hand sign. He says, look, I will allow you to live for but a moment.
I'll allow you to think on what you have done.
Yes, I will let you just simply think you had a chance of escaping the legend that is Rolster's Y here. And now it's 14,000 gold, Kangas. It's almost 13 minutes. I don't know if they're going to have time to really wait out another 8.
Max Green, like Chuck sacrificed himself so Max Green could get away. Could have backed, but then he saw his team get the kill and Luna was like, oh, we can group, we can do
it. There's hope.
Yeah, the hopium, it unfortunately faded quite quickly there for Max Green. And for the rest of the Tribe here, as like you said, that gold lead, it's not necessarily one that we see teams come back from. Rolster Y still looking dominant here and looking in top form. Again, I want to go back to what we had said. What are the new picks? What are the new things they're trying? And how is it looking? Salem is looking good on this Galio.
Salem is a standout when it comes to the support position right now. He's looked really good. His engages have looked awesome. And I think it also starts to break away from kind of setting that dichotomy, right? The SEA regions playing Enchanters. I'll save that. I think they're still dead, Kangas.
That's, yeah, speaking of Salem, yeah, no, this goes right back to your point. Yeah, there we go, the Galio.
Awesome. A lot of the other regions are playing some more of these engaged support. We think about Alistar, we think about Galio as well. I want to see what that looks like as we get into the knockout stages with Breakout as to what that looks like.
They're taking Baron and they're taking bottom inhibitor.
Oh my god,
that is the game state right now. 15,000 gold ahead. I think they can take this fight. Max Green with the knockup, but Starter can't even get over the wall. Rolsters will just chase them down. Nice flank from T-Tigers. Almost gets Luna. Stasis used. Taunt from Salem. The CC is too thick. And Rolster Y take down the Lee Sin. Is this the end of the game?
Good.
Dude, you do not surrender this game, Tribe. You are playing this one out till the end. Chuck will try his absolute best to defend this Nexus. But you watch this Nexus fall, Tribe. You remember this. Back to North America, bring the lessons. But Rolster Y with a dominant performance will move on with a 2-0 into the knockout stage.
Their first 2-0, and they do it against Tribe. It feels almost fitting for them to head into knockouts 3-1. North America, you can feel some kind of emotion, but especially from the Rolster Y boys, they feel good about that one. They're like, that was fun. You know, we got to do some things. I just hope that the Tribe boys do not feel as down. They should recognize some of the goofiness that was happening on the Rift.
Yep. I mean, they were having fun with that one. I mean, you could tell at the beginning they were going aggressive. They were going nuts.
Flip it, boys.
When the game gets away from you like that, at this state, at the international tournament, just keep going for the plays, and they did. They kept looking for engages. They kept looking for these little windows, these little pockets that they could go in. But Rolster, why? They took this game seriously. I didn't know if they would be, messing around themselves other than, leaving the next screen alive for a couple more seconds.
It feels a little familiar, right? Where you have one team, you're just like, hey, can I be a part of your little pickup game? Can I try to have fun? I'm like a little bit younger, I'm a little bit smaller, and then you just have like that one guy on the court during the pickup game who's like really trying his all, trying to be like a D1 athlete. It's like, this is not necessary. This is a lot of effort going into it. I don't want to downplay KT or Rolster Y. They deserve this win, and again, a lot of good looks that we're going to see potentially going into the
Let's see how their selfie game is, though. Can they get the optimal selfie?
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, some of the selfies today have been a little sus. Oh, this is looking like good framing. Oh, it's
good,
blurry.
Good, get as many as
Wait,
possible.
Is it focused? I think it's focused. There we go.
It's not as good as Sengoku. Sengoku's definitely, if we're talking about, placing the teams, number one. We actually can't even place Tribe, sadly enough, because they haven't been able to take it. I hope they give them one. Actually, I know they can't hear us. I hope that they get a selfie. At least one with the boys.
That would be fantastic. I don't know if they're
don't think they will,
get a chance.
But
who knows? Who knows? Maybe after the fact. Maybe after the fact, them and Ebro can get together and get like a group selfie.
They need something. We need some kind of win here at the Horizon Cup. It's been kind of hard.
But okay, all jokes aside, Tribe Gaming coming in from North America, not a region known for being, dominant in mobile esports by any regards. No. And I still think picking up a couple of games here and there, they did pick up 2 wins. So I think that they can walk away from this saying, yeah, we've learned a lot. Let's go back to our region and bring those lessons with us so that we can, improve everybody together so that the next international tournament coming in better.
They had 4 world champions. They had 4 world champions coming out from Tribe. It sucks. Whatever. The desk will see it later on. We're going to send it back to the desk to wrap up the day, and hopefully NA can get some kind of win here on Horizon Cup. Please, boys, get us back.
Thank you, Alk Battery and Kangas. Great cast of the day. And I don't know what you're talking about. We got a great motto for us. It's never give up, never surrender. Let's fly that one more time. I've never seen that happen before. That was so funny to have pop on up there for a second. There it is. The blue team refused to surrender. If you're going to take it, you got to take it from us. You're not going to get anything for free here, Smack.
It is just a hysterical, just huge pop-up in the game of the spectator client. They really need to let us know that somebody on this blue team is not believing anymore. But you know what? That's all right. I'm an NA fanboy. I'm still proud of the boys on Tribe for making it to this tournament. They took a game off of TSM, and they had some strong early games in this series. I gotta say, the early games were not all bad.
Yeah, it wasn't, and they were trying to replicate the magic from that first game where they dove bot side of the map, they got a couple kills, and they did get one here eventually. It came, but it came at the cost of 3 of theirs, Riku.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I feel like this was deja vu for T-Tigers. I was happy to see him finally on the Lee Sin, but unfortunately that particular moment was a bit messy. But yeah, going back to Salem, twice in a row, I feel like he's like the bane of Tribe at the bottom lane. First as Sanami, and now as a Galio, punishing the greed on his life. So yeah, I gotta hand it to him. Engage supports, enchanters have been very consistent on him no matter what. Yeah,
and right there, that taunt as well, I'm pretty sure Salem probably got around the corner of the Baron pit. They lost vision, then the taunt came through. But either way, Rolster doing what they needed to do. They got the job done. They used the substitute mid laner as well to get him a game, and it was a great close to their group stage.
Yeah, it's nice to see Nomel playing on the roster again as well. In the Korean playoffs, he did play as the starting bot laner for this squad. So to see him come back into his main role for mid lane with the addition of Luna to the roster was a nice treat. I missed the boy that was previously in Dragon Lane. So really good to see him, and really good to see Rolster playing with some really highly mechanical champions. We hadn't seen the Aurelia played for the entire tournament, and they pulled that out with a win.
Yeah, and when you're able to do that, it's always great to be able to now put that in the mind of some of the opponents. So Aurelia, some you got to watch out for just in case. Riku, what else jumped out at you that we learned from Rolster from this match?
I mean, the fact that they were still very consistent, like it's like their fundamentals has never wavered. They were humoring Tribe a little bit in some instances, but at the same time, they still have their head in the game. They were still aiming for objectives. They were still playing to their win conditions, and I think that's a very good sign coming into the knockout stage.
All right, well, that closes out our group stage. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys real quick. Oh, sounds like we need to take one more second because we are going to have Chuck come and talk to us from Tribe Gaming. We haven't had the opportunity to chat with any of our North American brothers out there, so we'll be chatting with them for a second. And so what I was going to ask is, as we close out the group stage here, what are the big takeaways for Tribe from here?
Well, for Tribe, they can look to the next event. They still have it in them that they were super dominant in North America. And while that didn't end up translating into international success, they did, they can come into the next one with a chip on their shoulder. Like, yeah, we went 0-4 in that group, but we can do better at the next tournament. So I'm excited for that one to happen. I'm still a fan of the boys. I'm still proud of them. But yeah, this was a tough break for sure.
For sure. Well, for more, let's send it on over to Le Tigers, who's standing by with Tribe's Chuck.
Everyone, with the group stage being complete, I wanted to have the chance to speak to the Tribe Baron laner here in Chuck. I just wanted to know, first off, your reflection upon Horizon Cup and what this experience has been like for you and the rest of Tribe Gaming.
Well, I think the overall experience was pretty, I would say, like, pretty mind-opening to us. Like, we figured out a lot of our problems, and we figured out just the overall talent pool that this tournament has. You can see all the insane plays that these players make. It's pretty cool to watch. And, I am pretty disappointed with our performance. I knew we could do better, but kudos to all the amazing teams out here.
In the end, there is so much value to be had from getting this international experience. What would you say is the greatest learnings, whether it be from the other teams or even reflecting upon yourselves as a team?
Yeah, I mean, I think this tournament as a whole just showed a lot of our weaknesses as players, and it showed the strengths of all these other amazing teams, and there's definitely so much to learn from them. It is pretty exciting to see them play still throughout the tournament. It'll be exciting to watch the finals and semis, and yeah, I just hope that this will be a learning experience.
And one of the coolest things about Tribe Gaming is the experience of all of you as a team, a lot of cohesion coming from your previous competitive experience. When it comes to Wild Rift and an esport on the horizon, what has your experience been like throughout your North America play and then now looking forward to the future?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the North American play, right, we still had problems as a team and we actually overcame it. But I mean, here, just, again, more problems that need to be solved, and that's just the next step.
Yeah. And speaking of that next step, with time before we really kick off Wild Rift Esports, anything that you have on the docket as far as coming down from Horizon Cup and looking towards the future?
Yeah, I mean, we realized our mistakes, and like I said before, those are a lot of things we have in plan. We have a long list to work on, and that's essentially just what we're going to work on for the next season.
Well, I got to say, it's been great getting to see you all around here at the venue, North American Pride to the fullest. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me for the interview.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is the official end of our group stage, everyone, but not the end of the Wild Rift Horizon Cup. See you later.
Thank you very much, Gabby. And at least that is what I wanted to hear from Chuck. It's like, hey, we learned a lot. We got a ton of experience looking forward to the future. How'd you feel about that interview with Chuck there, Riku?
Yeah, I really like the mindset, all about having that learning experience going into the next season. I'm still like a huge fan of T-Tigers. Max Green's initiate on the Rakan, and as well as starting's consistent when it comes to, again, when we look at the grand finals and his performance over here at the Horizon Cup. So yes, definitely looking forward for Tribe next season.
I want to see more Tribe gameplay. Unfortunately, they are out of Horizon Cup. I'm just going to have to wait for the next tournament for North America or for international. But yeah, I'm proud of Chuck. It's nice to hear that he's still in high spirits. They're not fully down and out after their loss. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what's next for Tribe.
Yep, well, with that last game, it does it for us here in the group stage of the Horizon Cup. Here's a look at the bracket for the knockouts. It's the two Southeast Asian teams squaring off on the top side of the quarterfinals, and that's a rematch of the SEA Championships, right, Riku?
Yeah, I mean, you know, on one side I'm super torn, and on the other I'm super hyped for the SCA rematches, as you mentioned, because when we look at this regionally, Vietnam were like the big gatekeepers of the Philippine region, even during the Summer Super Cup. And now looking back at the SCA Championships, Team Secret has taken SBTC to Game 5s before, but fell short. And even during the finals, it was 1-4. So now with the Horizon Cup experience absorbed, I'm curious to see if they can finally defeat their rivals, SBTC, in this huge series.
All right, you got me all riled up here for that national matchup. Now on the bottom side, we've got KT Rolster versus Sengoku Gaming. So what jumps out at you in this one, Smack?
Well, if today's games were any indicator, it feels like Sengoku are going to come in with a more reserved, a more patient style of gameplay, and Rolster more high octane. Now, the stakes of today's matchups may have something to do with that. Maybe Sengoku were playing a bit more reserved because their tournament lives were on the line right there and Rolster were already locked. But regardless, I think that's still going to reign true a bit. I think Sengoku, if they can keep that reserved play style on their side and they can keep control, then they might have a way of beating our really strong team from Group A and Rolster Y.
All right, well, we'll find out with the quarterfinals that start on Friday with SBTC Esports versus Team Secret, followed by Rolster versus Sengoku. The winners move on to face Dakun Gaming and Thunder Talk on Saturday. I cannot wait. Smacks, this is it. The group stages are done. Woo! We did it.
We absolutely did. I'm proud of us. You know, great job. Woo!
Riku, high five.
Yeah.
This way?
Let me in on that.
Yeah.
Air high five. Yay!
Your hand's a little bigger than ours.
All right, that does it from us here. Before we wrap up groups, here are the Axe highlights featuring the best moments from the group stage. We'll see you on Friday for more Horizon Cup action.
For SBTC, look at YK going in, Yo goes in around the side. Cloud Drake does go down immediately, but this is looking very good for the Chinese team. Okay, 2v1, this is got it, I think.
He might actually win this.
Oh my god, he gets the dog.
He doesn't even care about the reset. Ends up with the upper hand treble with a massive kick. Kicks Chris into the waiting arms of the rest of Team Secret. And now Old School's just going to be left for dead. Lucian's unstoppable. Sonny's locked up Chuck. He's going straight in. That was such a sick flash play after the flag and drag out of Sonny.
Sees Isaac fall first. Julie's diving in deep there. Good amount of damage coming across Patel with a beautiful flash with a wall. Finds a three-man knock-up.
And then just resetting the mid. And oh goodness, Chris punted straight back towards the top. But see, he's just diving onto one. He's picked him up amidst 4 different champions. Trevor, the jungler, is going to straight 1v1 kill the top laner. And now it could be more here as he's just going in. 2v3, doesn't matter. 2v4, 3v4 with Shu reinforced by James from downtown, just skates on in.
Osprey doesn't really have the mana to back this up. He's gone in. Asa's going to turn it around, gets one. Should be able to get a second. He can go clean up here. Asa with a massive play. Ibu in all sorts of trouble.
Cataclysm onto the back line, but Rattel slices and dices through the TSM jungler. Sony's in there. Hook shot onto Luna and Isaac. Luna's there. The stasis with the rest of TSM. They have the HP advantage and they will slay Rolster to the ground.
And if this is Strive right now, we'll have to hold that. If they find a huge...
Yo! Evo!
It is aggression out of the rest of TKT as Yo's just diving on in there. And they're going to get the tower, they're getting the kill. The Twisted Fate is dead. A double kill there for the Diana. As now Rattel just completely forced out. That's 3.
Tigers beats the initial engagement back screen. He goes down so quickly, and as it jumps the water, it forces the Hourglass out from Old School, but he's stuck in stasis. This gives you now the time to come in. Yeah, he's gonna go over the wall. It's the Quadra kill. It's a day of Quadras for everyone. They're looking for a re-engage here. Beautiful timing in the Monsoon as they are now looking for a fight of their own. As Archon's in Shockwave onto 2 over by the side. That's Treble coming in to finish off 1.
That's a great knock up there, but Azuma gets the ulti out. Z's still alive.
Ibu.
No, he did die and take it all back. It's Azuma now trying to live, but I think it's a bridge too far as Chris does find the kick, gets the kill. It's the bowling alley.
Sengoku, can Team Queso clean up the pieces? Can they go for the janitor duty? Andres! Dale, 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 dale! Andres, arriba! Can they steal this Baron? They flash down it! Okay! Teeks steals the Baron away from Thunder Talk.
As SBTC are on to the Nexus, TSM are defending. Tentis with a couple more hits. T-Up's down, but the Nexus falls, and SBTC moved to knockout.